Welcome everyone, it's race number 10 of the MRC Cup Series. We finally made it to Watkins Glen after many delays of, I don't know, but we're here now, I guess. Seth Cole leading the charge for today's race from the pole alongside Christian Vargas, and we got many friends here today in the booth that are going to be covering every inch of these Finger Lakes up here in Watkins Glen. I got Dylan back in the booth.
Hello, every inch of my fingers has been covered. I am here commentating this MRC race, and boy oh boy do we got a good one cooking here today. We got Jack Dokkan and Carlos Mendez in row number 2, Cody Lamas and Kyler Sestrai in row number 3, Cameron Lessard and Matt Mitchell in row number 4, and I think that's Michael Swiney and Richard Johnson rounding out that motherfucking row. But we are on some shit today, and we're going to get a motherfucking good-ass race going today. We're going to get age restricted within the first 5 minutes of this video. I don't even care today. I don't care today.
That is just how we were feeling out here in Watkins Glen. We got 2 reporters also on track. We're going to be covering certain corners of the race, so we don't have to talk as much, which is very nice. That's always a good thing.
Yes!
There we go. We got DJ and Tristan. Not the drivers in the cars. They're completely different people. Don't think about it too hard. And they're going to cover certain portions of the track as these 42 drivers try to tackle Watkins Glen. It's round 3 of the Road Course Cup. Seth Cole is kind of creeping up towards that points lead. And remember, whoever gets the win in the Road Course Cup get a pretty good boost to their ratings next year for that, as well as some other drivers who finished pretty decent there too. Seth Cole also killing it in the overall points. He's got Christian Vargas, pretty decent points rival next to him. It was in 8th place currently in the standings, but Cole is leading this entire thing pretty much by an entire race. Jacques Decock and Carlos Mendez also not too far away from him in the standings as well. Mendez nearly in 30th place, but Lamas also close. Either way, not very good for the rest of the field for Seth Cole to be starting in front today, as we are about to get it going green here at Watkins Glen. 45 laps as we are on CT ESPN, of course.
Here we go, taking the green flag down here. Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's eat some diapers, boys!
And Seth Cole's looking to eat the biggest diaper going into turn 1, but Vargas on the outside, he has a charge. Is he going to make the move?
Oh, he's got a big run down the inside. Seth Cole does, going up the S's now. He's going to take the full-on lead with his teammate right behind him, getting a big run right next to Christian Vargas. Already pulling away.
Looking pretty good, though, as they roar down the stretch for the first time, though. Seth Cole with a tremendous lead in Vargas and Jacques Decock side by side for the runner-up spot.
They're going to be battling side by side for second into the inner loop for the first time, and they will keep it side by side, get single file, and then they will go through the carousel single file for the first 5 or 6 cars, it looks like.
And they're going to be side by side for quite some time trying to figure out their position here, as you see a lot of hungry drivers you don't see quite too often in this series making the field here today at Watkins Glen, trying to get out of LCQ hell, like Tristan Wilhoit, who's been slowly falling that way but trying to bounce his way back up for Misfit Motorsports, who somehow has all 3 drivers in the field today. But after lap 1, Seth Cole out to a very commanding lead.
That is an unbelievable statistic that Misfit Motorsports has almost never had all of their cars in the races this season. It's been so up and down, but they're starting to find their way every single time they make those races. It gives them a little confidence boost, and they can hopefully do it consistently from here on in.
Seth Cole with this stranglehold of a lead, about little under a second ahead of Christian Vargas. Jacques Decock sitting in 3rd, Mendez 4th, Cody Lamas running up that top 5, but Seth Cole, great start so far.
Everyone keeping it easy as Cody Lamas goes wide. He's going to be under attack from Cameron Lessard, and he's going to complete the pass going into the carousel, but Cody Lamas going to fight back on the bottom, and it's going to be side by side down the next straightaway.
Cody Lamas, he got the win at the Charlotte Oval. Didn't look too good at the Charlotte Roval, but bounced it back with a pretty good 2nd place finish at Road America behind Gabriel Hamo. And that boosts him up currently in the standings to 6th place. He's still a little bit over a race behind Seth Cole at the moment, but finishes like that could add up, and I mean, Cole just P1 at the moment. He's just completely commanding this series in general on top of this race. Just going to see if anyone has anything for him today, maybe for Lamas or maybe even Jacques Decock's 5th place in the point standings, see if they can capitalize a bit.
Yep, Seth Cole again holding his ground, mostly single file drivers keeping composed in the early stages of this race. Definitely want to get those tires lined up, primed up, ready to go here and worn properly here as they're side by side here. Looks to be Cameron Sard, Carlos Mendez, and Cody Lamas. Three-way battle for the 4th position.
Sard trying to move up. He made a pass on Lamas, but now he might be doing too wide on the exit, and Cody Lamas is going to be able to get onto his bumper and try to attack back, steal that spot back that he stole in the last lap. As it looks like Michael Sweeney completes a pass on Richard Johnson here through the carousel.
Ooh, Johnson's going to get the run around the outside of the corner, though. He's going to make that pass on Swiney and get up to 9th position. Luis Hernandez also having a look down the inside there, with Shane Sides following close through. Michael Swiney losing a lot of spots here on lap number 3.
Yeah, big time losses there. It looked like he might have had a move done, but instead he's going to lose quite a bit of time. Just kind of the nature of this track, just the constant left and right. I mean, you just have to set yourself up for basically 3 corners ahead. As you see hard charging into turn 1, Victor Nunez looking to make a move on Shane Sides. Got Skylar Taylor not too far behind. Nathan Kiani, who currently 3rd place in the point standings, hasn't really been faring too well as of late as they charge up through the S's.
Yep, have to be careful when you go through a fast set of corners like that. You make the slightest mistake and you can lose a lot of ground transferring that straightaway momentum, but Vargas closing that gap on Seth Cole.
Vargas with a couple good laps in a row. Seth Cole got out to a big lead to start, but Vargas tires have come up to temperature and he is starting to run back down the points leader and the race leader in Seth Cole to try to give us a good battle for the lead.
Man, all of these drivers have got to be tired of looking at that big white text message on the back of that 52 car. He has been leading so many laps this season, and he didn't even make Daytona. That has got to be bothering everybody in this field right now.
Yeah, not too many people want to know that Seth Cole is only here because his father didn't use Trojan, as Christian Vargas is looking to have it his way, but teammate of Seth Cole in that Bordeaux's butt-paced Ford Mustang there of Jacques Decock, looking to spice it up just a little bit, looking to help out his teammate. As it looks like if it stays this way in this race, I haven't seen Alpha Connolly anywhere. They might be taking the points lead after this one.
Looks to be the case though. Seth Cole putting the emphasis on domination here. With all the protection he's got a still pretty comfy gap though, but they've gapped 3rd place away, but 4th on back though, a little bit cluttered up.
As it's going to be side by side farther back outside the top 10 coming into the bus stop. That's 23 and the 15. We're going to be stacking them up as the 15 goes wide. I think everyone's going to mind their P's and Q's on off corner exit though and get through the carousel all perfectly fine.
And the 72 getting a run out the outside of his teammate there, Stephen Colon. Emi Scasado also running behind of the 72 there. A lot of these guys, you know, I would expect to be running a little better, especially Will Hoyt today, but of course qualifying is going to be a big bite to a lot of these guys in the back and going to put you back in the midfield with the squirrels and get your nuts bit.
Lots of hard battling still going on here. I mean, just pretty much from 16th on back. It's just non-stop fighting as you see Eric DeMax looking to make a move on Natan Amoedo. Remember the Bristol winner, very controversial earlier on in the season, but never really fell out of the LCQ zone, and he's still standing by us here. There's still plenty of hard battling going on through the field.
Yeah, midfield pretty tight right now, though. Just nobody willing to give an inch, though, compared to that of the front runners, though. The mid-pack, got to get all the track position you can here, and everybody's done a pretty good job minding their P's and Q's, playing aggressive, but giving quite the respect to each other.
Ryan Jasper is going to run wide, and that's going to give Carter Friesen a chance to try to go around the outside. Not going to be able to set up the run. He's going to just tuck back in line behind the 44, continue holding his track position, and try to fight another day.
Yep, it's all sitting in a straight line right now. They're getting settled into the groove here in a long run. There's not really too many guys going side by side except these leaders, but Christian Vargas backs out of that one early.
Vargas poked the nose out. He looked for it there, but just didn't quite have the speed coming out of the final corner. It looks like that 00 is kind of starting to wake up a little bit though, so Seth Cole has to be pretty careful, pretty consistent with these corners.
And right now, those, yeah, like you said, Seth Cole, they just kind of go in and out, cat and mouse race here. I mean, more or less, though, top three still running away. Big gap, though, right behind Cameron Lassard. Cody Lamas, and they've been battling it out for so long. I think those tires are starting to play a key factor here. We did see Allison Figueroa come down pit road, though. Not sure what happened to 38. Maybe an early stop or so, though. But right now, though, pretty big gap from...
Oh, caution's
caution is
out.
out on the track.
Oh, big junk. We'll have to take a look and see what happened. I think that's why that gap might have developed. Several cars in pit road now with massive damage. Bobby Jones may have gotten a piece of it. Oh, Daniel Rivera 100% got a piece of that one. RJ Reynolds as well. Unfortunate. Reynolds looked pretty good at the Roval. Natana Moedo desperately needed a good finish, as it looks like that might be the extent of our damaged cars as we search back up through the field for some more answers. There's Figueroa, just came out of the pits. So everyone races back to the yellow flag here. Seth Cole retaining the lead from the pole on every single lap of this race so far, as it is a mystery as to what brought out our caution, but we will figure that out pretty soon, and we'll see where they line up after pit stops. Alright, as we take a look at our replay here, we're going to introduce our pit reporter Cole Eastwood, who is right in front of this one for all the action, so he's going to walk you through what happened here.
Yeah, Will, I was in front of the hospitality tent, all-you-can-eat free buffet, and, oh, man, Nathan Chiani, oh, you hate to see it. He gets tagged by the 43 car there, and, I mean, that's just unavoidable at that point. There's not much you can do. Clogs the whole track up. Speed is definitely not beautiful. They're going to have to tow to pit road. I imagine that's not going to be too hard of a task being this close, but not what you want to see as a pit lane reporter. Sorry if it's a little noisy down here during pit stops.
Now that is quite alright, Cole, as we understand the situation that you were put in, but we see many, many cars taking that tow to pit road, as a lot of days are unfortunately going to end. Third place in the point standings, Nathan Chiani. His run is over today.
He's dead. And we're back here at Watkins Glen. I have been advised by my attorney to climb up this tree so I don't get found by the Watkins Glen Police Department, as we got cars entering pit road, guys. Seth Cole coming in hot here. You know, he's hot, he's fast. He's in that bright pink Trojans car, that Ford Mustang. So it's really going to be on these crews here, guys, to get their drivers back out as soon as possible. Otherwise, they're going to be in a world of trouble if the last wreck is anything to go by. As Seth Cole's getting ready. He's leading the pack down here, down in pit road. I'll try to look for a new vantage point next time, but like I said, I am wanted for... You fuck...
Alright, back here at Watkins Glen after that pretty horrific incident that has taken 4 drivers out of today's race. And Seth Cole will once again lead them to the green here at the Glen. Jacques Decock, his teammate, managed to sneak into second position after Christian Vargas had a pretty bad pit stop, as our pit reporter, I'm sure, very informally told you all about that as we cut to him. As we're getting ready to go back here green. Roughly 31 laps will be remaining as Seth Cole gets them going once again. Cody Lama has poking the nose out. He is really trying to take the points lead away from Seth Cole as best as he can. A lot of side-by-side going through turn 1 still, as we go up through the S's.
Yep, single file from the top 5 on back, though. Everybody surprisingly tame on this restart, though. However, Gabriel Romao and it looks to be Matt Mitchell are neck and neck for the time being. It might be temporary for the time for it is as now, but AJ Jones and that Advent Health Ford wanting to put some action to his Advent Health machine, as they're all still single file coming up towards that bus stop.
Going to slide out wide, going to try to get the angle in, and that's going to allow him to stay in front. That's going to allow Wilhoit to stay onto the bottom, as Connolly will go to his outside, try to round out the carousel and get the run off the corner like made today. He will complete the pass.
As you see, 3 of the Misfit boys, all 3 of them in this camera shot here today. Wilhoit a little bit further down than I'm sure he'd like to be. But it is always nice to see Tristan Allen and Cam Vanderhorst in the field trying anything they can to climb out of the LCQ zone so they can make more races and potentially continue next year with all 3 drivers. There's been talks of them maybe shuttering one of those cars due to the lack of performance, as now Cody Lamas takes second away from Jacques Decock. Is he going to hold on to it?
Well, looks like Cody Lamas will clear just by the skin of his teeth over Jacques Decock in that 35. Cody Lamas, how about that? Started 5th in the race, already up to the runner-up spot, though. Christian Vargas, who started 2nd, has dropped outside the top 5 to P6, though. Not a good sight there. Maybe not the best of stop for that Burger King Toyota.
One thing we have to keep an eye on with Vargas is that car took a lap or 2 to get the tires up to full temperature, and then he started making the run on Seth Cole again. So after another lap or so, if he continues to struggle back here, then that's going to be a dirty air problem, as he's going to lose that 6th spot to the 2 car.
Yeah, it might have been a slow stop, maybe a misadjustment or something on this 00. A little too early to tell, I suppose. But either way, he's losing positions, falling out of the top 5, now down to 7th place with Mendez overtaking him. Maybe he's going to fall prey to Victor Nunez and Luis Hernandez, 2 drivers who are eagerly just trying to make anything happen, both 19th and 28th in the point standings, so just need good runs here today. As you see the rest of the field kind of starting to creep back up to Seth Cole. Richard Johnson, one of those drivers in the LCQ zone, having a great run here today.
Certainly needing a run like this, running inside the top 5. Got to get as much points as you need, especially when you're way down the grid and in the order, though. But Cody Lamas now maybe putting a challenge here to Seth Cole in a few laps' time, though. He's caught the draft of that 52 car. We'll see how he handles that dirty air.
Lamas had made some spots up in the mid-pack, well, in the mid-top 5 positions, and with a great pit stop, he allows himself to jump to 3rd, jump around the 35 on the restart, and now puts him up in a prime position to wait, cool the tires down, and then go on a charge to Seth Cole.
Like we mentioned, I think I said 2nd earlier in the broadcast, but it was a 3rd place finish at Road America. So he's kind of starting to wake up on the road course program, and I mean, look at the charge he has on this 52. They have done something on that pit stop to put them ahead of Seth Cole performance-wise, and it looks like he might be able to capitalize here pretty soon. We'll see if he dives below the 52 this time. Doesn't look like it. I think he's going to play it a bit patient here. These teams are number 1 and number 2 in the team point standings at the moment, so this is a battle for more than just their position.
Yeah, Cody Lamas, one of the strongest drivers in MRC and really just across the globe. We would argue that Lamas is just a great all-around racer, though. Again, great run for him. Cameron Lassard, though, sitting in that 4th position. Great run for him as well. A lot of drivers that are outside that bubble are looking to have some pretty splendid runs here. Christian Vargas, that we talked about earlier, getting challenged by Victor Nunez back there.
As they go side by side into the bus stop, as Nunez, almost contact with Sustrite, going to hold it and not hit the wall. Going to lose a lot of momentum, lose the spot to Swiney there. Going to regain the momentum, and that could have been a vapor wreck off the exit of the bus stop.
Yeah, good control there from the 12 to keep it off that wall, because that wall would have just sucked him in and kept him there. And I mean, potentially, maybe even trying to gas it up a little bit too hard could have put them back in a really awful position on the racetrack going into the carousel, but they kept it together, unfortunately, to the 12's deficit, but still on the track, and that is all that matters. Taking another look back up towards the front, man, look at these top 6 are within a bubble. As soon as that 2 got around Christian Vargas, he just shot right up towards the front. That's no limits racing for you, as the battle still heats up between these 3 guys up here.
And it looked like Carlos Mendez wasn't really that quick off the bat, but they might have made some great adjustments despite sitting in that P6 spot, though. But again, Seth Cole is that guy to beat so far. Richard Johnson, for a moment, looked like he wanted to peek on the inside, or really on the bottom of Cameron Lassard, but just couldn't quite get to that opportunity here. But Cody Lamas reeling them back in.
Richard Johnson back there, holding on to the top 5 for the moment, under severe pressure from Carlos Mendez, though. Mendez also seems to have made a fantastic adjustment on that pit stop, because that 2 car has been just heating the bumper off for that top 5 and going to look and make a move down entering turn 6.
Mendez with 2 top 15 finishes the last 2 road course races since we started this program. That's been their first 2 top 15 races since Daytona, where they finished 5th place. So they're in the top 10 once again, really looking to make a statement. Mendez 29th in the point standings. A finish here would at least give him a little bit of hope going into Portland next week that he'll still be in the guaranteed spots to make it into these races every week. But he is really putting the pressure on that 93 as well as the 35 on the 48 of Cody Lamas to keep his teammate in the lead.
Yep, 3-horse race for the lead, though Seth Cole has led basically all the laps so far, but he still has some challengers up to the plate here, up to test his skills here. Cody Lamas and Jacques Dokkan are still within the rear end of that 52. Seth Cole basically an iron wall against this 48 car right now.
Seth Cole's been an iron wall against anyone who decides to try to come up the battle against him today. It's been Cody Lamas, it's been Christian Vargas. Neither have been successful at all for trying to dethrone that 52 car, who looks like he's just driving on easy mode compared to the rest of the field.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, it's just absolutely impressive how many laps he's led today. From start to finish so far, he has been at the point, and no one has been able to make a full-on pass on him for quite some time. So, yeah, Seth Cole definitely got the car set up and driver to win this race today. If they don't win it, that's all on them.
He is one race down on the majority of the field, but he is leading the points by nearly one full race, which is just unheard of in pretty much any motorsport. And Cody Lamas is doing everything he can to dethrone him. I mean, we're only 10 races into 16 on this in this championship, but the domination Cole has is just tremendous.
You could basically almost call it a dynasty as early as it sounds, though, just based on the sheer streak he's going on right now. A Linsanity run, if you call it here, for Seth Cole. He's just done a great job. Despite being down a race, he can pick up the pieces, and well, this is just a pure demonstration of his utter dominance and consistency here.
And even not just talking about Seth Cole, but giving the entire team props, because you also have Jacques Dokkan just sitting there in third. He hasn't had the race-winning speed, but he has been sitting there as a perfect tail gunner, just making the second-place car have to think about the moves, because if they make a dumb move, the 35 is going to pounce on them. As Cody
But look at Cody Lamas. He's coming down the inside, trying to make the first pass of the race on Cole. There he goes. He's almost clear of him. Let's see if he can get the run out the outside of the last corner.
He sends it in deep, but so does Seth Cole. He's going to hold the outside, going down the front stretch. First pass for the lead, trying to be made here by Cody Lamas, and he's going to take it. Not quite.
Cody Lamas leading the race, and oh my goodness, what a pass.
With 16 laps to go, Cody Lamas has overtaken Seth Cole, and if we thought the Queen Air was important, we'll see if it plays off for him now. I mean, he has just been charging up to that 52 all race, finally getting the speed and the time to get around him as we now head up to the bus stop as we got some battling going on behind them. It's all starting to kick off.
Yeah, the battling not ending yet. Richard Johnson, Cameron Lassard, and Luis Hernandez with Carlos Mendez also in the mix. All tight right there.
They're now side by side, going for 2 rows through the bus stop chicane. Not the most ideal positioning, but they all keep it clean, as Richard Johnson still trying to complete the pass on the Cameron Lassard vehicle. But now Lassard gets to run off the corner, and what will Carlos Mendez do? Will he take it 3, or will he stay in line?
And I think Cody Lamas getting around Seth Cole has maybe inspired a couple drivers to maybe pick it up a little bit and bring some excitement back into this race. Richard Johnson finally gets around the 06 of Cam Lassard to put him up in the 4th place. He's been hunting for that pretty much all day. And Carlos Mendez thought about it, not going to do it. But Christian Vargas looking to climb his way back up towards the front. Same with Kyler Sestrai making a move on Sweeney. A lot going on here.
Hardest part for Richard Johnson is going to be keeping that spot that he just got up there with all that draft behind him. If he doesn't have the tires, he's going to get swamped up and go right back to where he was before.
For a moment there, it looked to be Hernandez going a bit wide, but now Mendez making the move. A little peek way down. Just found a little bit of holes right there, and Mendez real aggressive here, trying to find Lassard just to make him vulnerable. Oh, real tight right there.
Lassard holds on, and Christian Vargas slides way wide, going to open the door back up for Luis Hernandez, who's going to be able to run the outside and try to get the run off the corner. As then we also have a battle near the tail end of the top 10, as that is Skylar Taylor trying to make the move on Michael Swiney for that 10th position.
Swiney, though, down the inside, the battle of the Camrys. Well, 3 Camrys there as Victor Nunez looks to invite himself into the battle here, trying to get into the top 10 himself. But it looks like Skylar Taylor might make that move done, as it looks like we might have pit stops here. Cam Lassard going into the pits.
Something to spice up the end of this race. The 06 coming down pit road. Cole Eastwood, what's going on down there? Why are you panting so
Is my
hard?
mic on?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, yeah, we can hear you. You're loud
Alright,
and
sorry, I
clear.
was running back from the hospitality tent. They finally kicked me out. Too many seconds. Alright, so it looks like the 06 is coming into pit road here. Man, he must be sweating like a llama. I know that's not Cody Llamas, but I figured that was going to be him coming down this time. So we're going to have to see what he's doing. But it's, like I said last time, it's all on the pit crews to make sure that this gets done in an effective manner. But we'll see. I mean, this guy was pretty much out of it anyway, so I don't think that really matters. But, you know, it's interesting. It's an interesting strategy nonetheless. I mean, if you care about 15th place. But we're going to have to wait and see when the leaders come down, and I imagine that's going to be pretty soon.
And Cam
Thank you for the play-by-play, Eastwood.
Cam Warsard, all 4 on. Thank you once again to Cole, our pit reporter, ever so hard working there. As we rejoin the battle at the front here, so it looks like they're coming down back to the front stretch. As you see, this track not very big. As we got somebody else coming in. Cole, do you have this one?
Yes, I do. Yep, I'm right next to his pit stop. This is Seth Cole in the 52, the Trojan pink Ford Mustang. His car seemed pretty good for most of the run, except when he got passed by Cody Llamas. So that's obviously an issue if you long term you want to win a race. So I think they're going to go 4 tires here, 2 full things of Sunoco fuel. They'll top him off, and he'll be good. As there's more drivers now entering down pit road. The 2 car, the 00, I think that was the 15. So lots of drivers coming down pit road here, guys. I got to catch up.
All right, thank you, Cole. He is working so hard. A lot of drivers making their pit stop. It looks like the first green flag pit stop they've had an opportunity to make here today. We'll see if Seth Cole has made the right move. Cody Llamas with a huge gap over that 35 now, but we'll see if it sticks.
It's easier to make a mistake on the colder tires, as Seth Cole has the complete fresh tires. He's ran a lap already. It's just Cody Llamas now should be completely up to temperature, or almost up to temperature. But Seth Cole has enough of a gap, so he's going to be in the draft here soon, and this battle for the win's going to heat up.
Yeah, it looks like that gap has already come down. You mentioned the difference in tire temperature is sometimes all it takes. I mean, Cody just doesn't have the same amount of grip as Seth Cole has quite yet with the difference in temp, but we'll see if lap 2 changes. But either way, Seth Cole going for the race lead now from way downtown. Is he going to get it the same way Cody got it on him the first time?
Ooh, I don't know. Cody's going to hold it around the outside, but that 52 looks like he's made some great adjustments on pit road. The 48 just getting their tires up to temperature. We don't really know what their car's going to be looking like as of yet, but so far, Seth Cole at the point once again.
Yeah, what a pass from Seth Cole in turn 1, late braking there. Took to his advantage, and well, off to the races he goes. Seth Cole off and away. Caution is out on the track.
Caution out again.
On lap 35. Got to see what's happening, though, but what a great time for Seth Cole to be in the lead.
So we try to search for this this caution flag. It looks like it might have already been cleaned up.
Warren was involved.
It does look like Blake Warren had some pretty significant damage there. As it looks like I think they've already gotten it cleaned and taken care of off the racetrack. We will take a look at the race back to the lead, though. Cody Llamas, Seth Cole, these two just walked together this entire race, and they're going to re-rack them up once again, and we'll see who truly made the best adjustments on their race cars to put them in victory lane here today. But right now, Seth Cole got that lead back in no time at all, and he's going to lead them also to the yellow flag with 10 laps to go here. As we'll take a look and see what happened to bring out our yellow. Maybe we'll get to talk to our pit reporter again if it was close to him. So we will get going once again with under 10 laps to go. Alright, caution number 2 here today at the Glen. You see turn 1 shenanigans. Skylar Taylor thinks about going for it, but just doesn't quite. And I think that might have spooked Shane Sides a little bit, who sends it in just a bit deep to get on the inside of Buddy Barksdale. And that's just going to cause Skylar Taylor to crash right into Shane and right into Blake. So just unfortunate situation for everyone involved there. Just kind of just trying to find a gap where there really wasn't any. And luckily everyone did a pretty good job of avoiding this one. Poor Zach Fitzwater, however, though, stay on pit road a little bit longer than he would have liked to, and is going to lose quite a lot of positions to drivers who ended up avoiding that one. So caution number 2 here today at the Glen with under 10 to go. Hopefully the last one, as I think another one would pretty much end the race. But we'll see if Cody Llamas can once again get by Seth Cole and maybe put a nice exciting finish on this one.
And we're back here at Watkins Glen. Jock Dokkan bringing them bringing them down pit road here. Looks like Ricky Johnson, he's out here trying to tame that beast. I don't know how well that's working for him, but they're going to be pitting here soon. I believe this is going to be their last pit stop. Here comes a 23 as well. I think that's Nunez. I don't know. Could be wrong about that. But anyways, they're all getting some fresh Goodyear rubbers, especially Seth Cole. But Seth Cole already pitted for his rubber. That's his whole sponsor. That's his whole gig. So we're gonna see. Yeah, that's my buddy here. I'm up here in the flag stand with my buddy Jeff. That's Jeff over there. But anyway, someone just disappeared into the ether. But that's okay. We're not going to worry about that. Jock the Cock leads him back out. That's good. Looks like Nunez picks up a spot on Richard Johnson. Back to you guys in the booth.
All right, back at the Glen for the second and hopefully final restart of this one. Seth Cole, Cody Lamas, Cam Wissard, Carlos Mendoz, Gabriel Homo, Christian Vargas back up in this thing, Kyler Sustrai, Luis Hernandez, and I actually can't tell what your top 10 is because it hasn't refreshed yet, but it's probably all of those guys. We should mention Gabriel Homo. That is the Road Course Cup points leader at the moment, and he is steadily also climbing the overall points. Didn't have a good starting spot here today, but P2 in the point standings. Hoping to get P1 here today at the racetrack, but we will see if Seth Cole can prevent that from being the case, as he will take us green once again. Does anyone have anything to stop Seth Cole as we get going with 8 to go?
Doesn't look like it so far off the line. Carlos Mendez, though, going down the inside of Cameron Lassard. Getting a great run. He's going to go down the inside of Cody Lamas, too, going up the S's. Oh, my gosh, what a restart from the 2 car.
Putting the emphasis on 2 birds, 1 stone here. Carlos Mendez on a charge here. From P4 to potentially P2. Will he get the help from Cameron Lassard? Yes, he does. Cody Lamas, a sitting duck out there, was once in the lead. Might drop even more spots off the grid.
And they're battling for the top 5, including with a new challenger in the form of the 3-car of Gabriel Romano. Was not even inside the top 10. I don't even think top 15 before this pit cycle. Great pit stop, and now he is up here fighting for the top 5.
Like I mentioned, P2 in the points table, P1 in the Road Course Cup standings, so Gabriel Homo, definitely someone to look out for on these road courses, and he's going to try to do everything he can to punch a hole into Seth Cole's points lead, but not looking to be the case as of right now, as the battling that got Carlos Mendoz up at the P2 is going to allow Seth Cole to just take off a little bit, but we'll see. New challenger Carlos Mendoz, does he have anything for Seth Cole here?
I don't know. He seems to have a really strong car. Those adjustments they made on pit road must have been very nice for that 2 car, for him to be able to launch like that and just get those corners that good with cold tires. So I don't know. We'll see here, but that 52 is looking like a strong horse today.
Looking strong indeed. Meanwhile, Christian Vargas, Luis Hernandez going at it behind them, though. Looks like it's calmed down. Mid-pack and intense as ever, though. Once again, these late restarts, got to get as much track position as you can. As see Ash Curtis looks to be battling Tristan Wellpoint, or actually looks to be maybe the 27. Correct me if I'm wrong there. Yep, side by side there. Real tight through the bus stop.
Bus stop 51's gonna lose a bit of momentum. Almost gets slammed into by the 20 of DJ Curtis. That would have been really bad looking on the paycheck between those 2 team cars if they ran into each other. As now it's going to be under fire from the 82 as DJ Curtis lost all of his momentum working for his teammate.
And we take a look at Tristan Allen here for 1 second. He got the 2nd place at the Roval and just did not qualify for Road America last week. But the finish he had before that one, also a 4th place at Darlington. So at tracks that are tough to drive, this 27 shows up when he ends up making it to the field of 42. And he is looking to climb through the field, as well as Eric DeMax looking to get around the damaged car of Daniel Rivera, who is still trucking with a little bit of hood damage there, but he is going to lose that spot as we go back up once through the field here.
Yeah, that 3-car, though, remember, started way back in 37th position, though. Climbing up into the top 10, Kyler Sustrai hugging that rumble strip down, though. What a run for this 3-car. For a reason, they've done a great job. The well-deserved day for them if they can keep this up together.
And they keep it clean and tidy through the bus stop. Christian Vargas a bit wide. Luis Hernandez not going to be able to set up a run, but actually he's going to get to the outside, but not going to have enough for a run as Michael Swiney's going to now attack from the bottom.
What a run on the outside from Hernandez, though, to get that spot from Vargas. Great run from him, and he's going to power by. Swiney's also taking a look down the inside of Vargas. But it's looking like at the end of this race, this is becoming a 52 show, and he's going to take the checkered flag so far.
Yeah, but it looks like they are ever so slightly kind of reeling him in just a little bit. Cody Lama is now back within a second of these top two, and like we've seen all day, he's looked pretty fast. We'll see if he can get around Carlos Mendez and hopefully up to that back end of the 52, but Mendez isn't going to make it easy either.
However, the issue has been is they can get those runs on Seth Cole, but as everybody's alluded, they just cannot quite get that pass properly. It took them just quite a lot of build-up to even get it to work in the first place, and Cody Lamas has been the only guy to do it. But now he's got a car sandwiched in front of him and Seth Cole. With that, a Carlos Mendez still 3-horse race for this win.
Mendez is going to need to just get a perfect run, basically, to be able to have a shot at Seth Cole. But he also has to deal with Cody Lamas hunting him down, because Cody's not happy on that restart, and he's trying to make his ground to be able to give Seth Cole another shot in these final 5 laps.
Yeah, Mendez getting a great run down that backstretch on Seth Cole. That draft, like I said earlier, it's becoming a big player and getting these guys up to those cars on the long runs and able to make those passes. Mendez is going to get a big run off of turn 16 as well.
See if he has anything for him going into turn 1 here. 5 laps to go this time. So if there's any time to get around that 52, it has to be now. Cody Lama's only lost the lead due to pit cycle, so you got to keep that in mind. It's very important to get the track position when and where you can. As back up through the buses going towards, or back up through the S's going towards the bus stop.
Yeah, and really, Seth Cole was able to get around Cody Lamas once the tires were warmed up, though, but Mendez still putting pressure down. All it takes is one mistake from that 52, and Mendez will be at a pounce, but look there, went a little bit wide.
Trying to be so close to be able to get to pressure Cole into a mistake, and Mendez proceeds to make a mistake himself, putting him into the clutches of Cody Lamas, who's going to get a big run down the short straightaway.
The benefit, though, for the 2 cars that he still has that draft. He's still able to close back in to Seth Cole in those straightaways. And that 2 car, it's looking like a rocket down those straights. I think they've got a low downforce set up for this one because, he is going quick in every high-speed part of this racetrack.
A rocket down the straights, but a little bit too out of control in the bus stop, and that could be everything that cost that 2 car. Trying to take a win away from Seth Cole here today. Doing everything he can to get up to that bumper, but it's just not looking to be enough.
Yeah, Seth Cole's just marking the check boxes off. He's doing everything right for a points leader, just having a good day, running P1, getting the max points you can get here. And right now, with only 4 laps to go, he's looking pretty good. He's starting to pull a little bit of a gap here.
Top 3 have absolutely pulled a massive gap over the 4th place Cameron Lassard. It looks like it's only going to be a 3-horse race for the win, unless if one of these next 4 can just pull one of the craziest runs in series history out of absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, Cody had made a big mistake in the bus stop there, so it's always actually coming down to become a 2-horse race here between the 2 and the 52. And I don't know, man, it's just becoming a little too hard to pass that Mustang right there. He is super quick everywhere across this racetrack.
In the Road Course Cup, you have to finish in the top half of the field to gain points. Carlos Mendez has not done that quite yet. Or actually, he has 13th and 14th, but he hasn't really gained the amount of points that you need to be effective on the road courses. And Seth Cole has just done everything but look awful. He is just looking fantastic. Every single race he's been in, he has dominated once he gets up towards the front.
Yeah, he's done a real good job. People could honestly say Seth Cole dominates, could bore fans with how much of a grasp he's got on the rest of the field here. 3 laps to go in the race, though. Carlos Mendez made that mistake in turn 1. Could cost him even more.
It's losing all that ground, and Seth Cole basically gets to be on autopilot here for about a lap or 2 as the 2 has to push it just to even be able to get back to the bumper of Seth Cole, as Cody Lama is hoping that he can tag along with the draft and try to give at least one shot here in the final laps.
Yeah, coming into the last 2 corners, that gap is just widening and closing up every so often. It's hard to really tell. Oh, as Seth Cole runs wide! Cole runs wide! Mendez is going to get a run out of that final corner!
on board with Carlos Mendez. Does he have the speed to make anything happen going into turn 1 here? Cole with a little bit of a mistake, but oh, Mendez super wide in turn 1, and that could be the end of whatever run he was thinking about building on Seth Cole, as for the second to last time, go up through the S's.
Cole made a mental error, and then Mendez made a mental error right back, though. To and fro, and really Seth Cole, right as he made a mistake, Mendez again, as spoken repeatedly, made one right back, and the gap still staying pretty consistent, though. And right now it's just looking all sunshine and rainbows for that 52 machine.
Cody Lama's a bit wide through the bus stop, trying to ask too much of the grip, too much of the car, just hoping that he can have one last shot at Seth Cole, but I think it might be too little too late for that 48 car, so it's going to be down to Seth Cole versus Carlos Mendez.
Mendez gets some really good braking down in there. He's going to have to drive the lap of his life in order to pass Seth Cole here as he gets really deep down in that braking zone. White flag out in the air. Here we go. It's the last lap of this race.
The white flag goes up, the leaderboard goes off. We are focused on the racing. Does Carlos Mendez have anything for the leader in Seth Cole through the last time through turn 1, where Cole's looked a little bit weak, but up through the S's and the rest of the track, he's been pretty hard to stop.
The top 3 methodically trudging along. The S's here for the final time at Watkins Glen. Seth Cole with a comfy advantage over Carlos Mendez. Cody Lamas has started to fall back as here they come towards the long straightaway, and coming up towards the bus stop, it's Seth Cole's race to lose.
Seth Cole into the right-hander for the bus stop entry for the final time, and a perfect bus stop, no issues, no tires offline. He's going to continue holding it through the carousel. Mendez is still hot on his heels. If there is any mistake here in 6 or 7, Mendez is going to pounce.
And Mendez is going to try to get a run down here going in the last 2 corners, breaking really deep. So close to that Seth Cole machine, but Seth Cole getting the runs out of the corner that he needs to win this race. Coming out of the final corner, he's going to wash up just a little bit, but it's not going to be enough. Seth Cole going to continue to dominate and win here at Watkins Glen.
From pole position to victory lane from the top of the points table, he might have just pulled off a 1 race lead over the entire field. The most dominant driver in MRC has just taken his 2nd victory of the season, the first driver to ever do that. Cody Lama's coming ever so close. Can't be disappointed with a 3rd place finish, but when it's your points rival, that hurts just so much more. Seth Cole taking the W here today at the Mission Foods at Watkins Glen. What a race from start to finish from this 52.
Yeah,
real good
absolutely
race.
Dominant performance. And DJ, like you said, a really good race for Seth Cole. Nice and clean one from start to finish. A couple of cautions here and there with some big damage, but the front runners kept it mostly clean for the whole thing.
Great finish for Carlos Mendez, 29th in the points table coming into this one. Definitely going to be safe from LCQ elimination going into Portland. Cody Lamas, like we mentioned, P3. Can't be disappointed with that at all. Cam Lassard having a very good run today. He's LCQ'd I don't know how many times this season, but he has brought it back. Gabriel Homo, I think DJ said he started 37th, and he managed to get 6th place out of that. That's a very good run. But again, finishing behind Seth Cole, top of the points table, he's not going to gain anything on him today. Kyler Sustrai, good run for them as well. Luis Hernandez, Christian Vargas, Michael Sweeney, and Harry Klein, Chicagoland winner, coming out of nowhere to take P10 there. And also, should mention fastest lap, because you get a point for the fastest lap if you finish in the top half of the field. Kind of forgot to mention that. Cody Lamas will get that, so ever so close to maxing out the amount of points that he'll get, but 1 extra bonus point. Sure, it will not hurt their run this season. So kind of going through the field here on our leaderboard, try to point out some decent finishes. Eric Rodriguez, he kind of came out of nowhere to finish ahead of Eric DeMax there. Ash Curtis, Fitzwater, of course DJ Curtis in the 20 there. So we'll have the full point standings and results and everything after that, but once again, congratulations to Seth Cole, and thanks to everyone who joined this broadcast today to make it what it was. Here today at the Glen, we have our ever so hard-working pit reporter, as well as everyone in the booth and our radio-style reporters. There's certain corners of the track. We will take you through the final standings from the race and the points results after. Alright, and your full results after Watkins Glen here. Of course, Seth Cole becoming the first ever two-time winner in the MRC Cup Series. And that's only going to extend that points lead even further away from the rest of the field. Good finish for Carlos Mendez as well, P2 for him. Second straight third place finish for Cody Lamas. And a pretty decent finish there for Cam Lassard, who is escaping the LCQ zone hopefully and will continue to make more races. Going down the list, Carlos Estrella, Gabriel Homo, another good top 10 for him. Luis Hernandez, Christian Vargas, Michael Sweeney, and Harry Klein rounds out your top 10. Pretty solid finishes for Eric DeMax and Tristan Allen there. Two drivers a bit further down in the point standings, as well as Dan Rivera and DJ Curtis. Zach Fitzwater again probably going to drop in the point standings with a 19th place finish. And unfortunately, the timing of the caution sent Jacques Lecoq all the way down to 21st place. And a good finish for Cam Vanderhorst of Misfit Motorsports. Dylan Connolly, P25 for Alpha Connolly Racing there. Tristan Lahoy a bit further down the order. Roberto Crown, not a good finish for him today, as well as Bobby Jones there. Through the rest of the field, most of these guys not even finishing this one, but Carter Friesen, Spike Stinson, and Natana Moedo still in the racetrack. However, Blake Warren, Shane Side, Skylar Taylor, Matt Mitchell, RJ Reynolds, Joey Murphy, Ryan Jasper, of course, caught up in incidents. And our final two drivers, Nathan Kiani and Steven Colon. Good on Colon for showing up, but he's probably still going to be dead last in the point standings, as we will take a look at that real quick. But before we take a look at the full point standings, we're going to look at the Road Course Cup standings. As we see, of course, Gabriel Homo, he has a win in the other Road Course Cup, and so does Seth Cole, who approaches P2. Of course, leading the overall point standings, so very dangerous for him to be up there as well. They could turn into a just unstoppable machine next season if they continue this. Carlos Estrella, Cody Lamas, and Cam Lassard running at your top 5 there, and Carlos Mendez didn't really have the best finishes in the previous two races, but he just bounced his way up to 6 places. It's still really anyone's game here, as pretty much anybody in the top 10 still a slight chance to grab it, but pretty much between those top 2 or 3 right there of Homo and Seth Cole. And of course, taking a look at the overall points, Seth Cole increasing his points lead nearly by an entire race, just a couple points away from doing that. So Gabriel Homo is going to have to get a pretty good finish to keep him and everybody else in the series in contention to still fight for that championship, as we're going to have 6 races to go after this one. Cody Lamas, Christian Vargas, and Nathan Kiani running out your top 5 there. Of course, Kiani getting involved in that accident, going to send him down 2 spots there. Carlos Estrella approaching into the top 10 of the standings there, getting 3 spots to get up in here. 11th through 20th, as we see big movers and shakers, Eric Rodriguez and Carlos Mendez both getting their way up into the top 20 here as well. Ryan Jasper dropping 4 spots, dropping him to 14th. Michael Sweeney shooting back up in the point standings up to 16th place as well. 21st through 30th, just a lot of moving around in this part of the field here, but I think the biggest ones we got to pay attention to, Matt Mitchell and Shane Sides both dropping 11 spots and 8 spots respectively. Sides, he was one of the contenders early on in the season, but he is now in danger of missing races. So we'll see if he can maybe bounce back at Portland next week, but still plenty of time to go in the season for anyone to escape or be dropped into the LCQ zone. And speaking of, we take a look at our drivers who are in danger of missing Portland and every other race after that. Carter Friesen, Nelson Figueroa, Pedro Lucas, RJ Reynolds, both moving and shaking there, dropping a lot of spots. Allison moving up 2 there. Carter is dropped now into the LCQ zone. I don't think he's missed a race since he started, so first time he could be in danger of not making one. Tristan Allen, of course, was in this race, and Dan Rivera as well, but neither one of them really doing a whole lot to escape where they are. So yeah, we see a lot of +2 and -2 in terms of the drivers. 37th through 40th there, and just kind of going down to the field. Richard Johnson, Bobby Jones, Cam Vanderhorst, all gaining points positions due to entering this race, as well as Skylar Taylor. And nothing really changing after that, all the way through 52nd place, as our friend George Buffalo, who we haven't seen in a while, continues to sit in dead last in the point standings. So the next time we will see you, it will be at Portland. Looks like we will be there for 39 laps of exciting racing up in the Pacific Northwest. Hopefully it doesn't rain on us, probably will, but hopefully it doesn't. And until then, we will see you Seth Cole, first ever 2-time winner in MRC history. Does anybody have anything to stop him? Guess you'll have to just pay attention to the rest of the season and watch and find out. So, next time, see you at Portland. Thank you for watching.